Hey guys, what's up? JK with PornReboot here. Welcome to our series on the 5 rules of rebooting. And today we're going to be talking about the final rule, rule number 5, which is don't break any of the rules. Now, in my years of helping men end their out-of-control behavior with porn, sex, and masturbation, I've realized that there are just 2 types of men, 2 types of rebooters. And the first type is what I call a true rebooter. Now, here's the characteristic of a true rebooter. A true rebooter is a man who acknowledges the fact that his past with pornography and sex was fun. He actually accepts that, like, yeah, that was fun. I learned a lot of things from pornography. I had some great fapping sessions. My addiction with sex, I had some crazy experiences. I learned so many things about myself and others. I became open-minded. All of that was fun. But right now, it's not fun anymore. Like, it's no longer fun, and it can never be the same level of fun that it was before. Right now, the negative aspects of it far outweigh the positives, and they have committed to ending the out-of-control behavior permanently. But the key concept that they understand is that that was fun, and now it's over. Now, there are bad things happening to me. And these bad things will continue as long as I am attached to the fun. The second type of man, the second type of rebooter is what I call the trial rebooter. And this is an individual who cannot or will not acknowledge the extent of his porn or masturbation addiction. This is a person who finds it, you find it, very difficult to imagine a life without pornography, without out-of-control behaviors with sex, and without compulsive masturbation. And what you do is you will try to reboot, you will even enter recovery, you will work with a coach or a counselor, but deep within you, you believe that one day you're still going to be able to engage in that behavior, maybe in a more controlled manner. And this is very common with men who view pornography. The reality is that, yeah, there are some men who can go back to masturbation and it doesn't become a compulsive behavior because they've rewired their brain and they've removed pornography from the equation. But there's still men who are like, you know what, maybe I can watch a little bit of porn in moderation, and it just won't be so bad, right? These men make that secret agreement with themselves. And the truth is that when you do that, when you come into the reboot process and you treat it as a trial, you're never going to get to the end. You're never going to get to the point where you can fully recover because you're just not committed. Men who are trial rebooters find themselves slipping often and they find themselves counting a lot. In the PornReboot system, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, we don't believe in counting and giving gold stars or badges for what you've accomplished. We believe the only thing that you need to count is your wins, because the only thing you're counting towards is an ideal that you've never accomplished. See, you've never reached that new life without your compulsive behavior. All you have in your head is this image of a perfect life. Oh, I'm going to have a great relationship with my wife. My PIED is going to be gone. I'm going to be able to have normal erections and have sex. I'm going to be so focused. I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be focused on my goals. I'm going to be a different man. But you haven't accomplished any of those things. So everything you've created, it's all just this ideal. And the reality is you don't know exactly when you're going to get there. You don't know when you're going to get to that ideal. And you might get to that ideal and realize that it's not all you thought it was. That most of it was just made up stuff. That's not going to make you feel great, and that's most likely going to lead to a relapse. So that's one of the reasons why we don't count. True rebooters rarely count. Trial rebooters count all the time because they can't wait. You can't wait to get to that goal and go back to your behavior in a more controlled manner, which really doesn't exist. So the only way to go from being a trial rebooter to being a true rebooter is to follow the 5 rules. And that's the reason why I shared this series with you. It is simply to point out the fact that many men are truly trial rebooters masquerading as true rebooters. And it's so simple. Don't worry, don't beat yourself up about, oh my goodness, what can I do? Just go back to the first rule, the second rule, the third rule, and this rule, which is don't break the rules, and you'll be fine. That is the way you move from being a trial rebooter to a true rebooter. Brothers, I want to leave y'all with a message at the end of this series. And that is, too many men feel that this behavior with pornography is something that's going to follow them throughout their lives. I don't believe that. That hasn't been the case for me. It hasn't held me back from any sort of financial achievements. It hasn't held me back in my relationships. There's a lot of work that I've had to do on myself after the reboot process. But the moment I made the decision to follow these 5 simple rules, my life changed. This is not a life sentence. This does not have to be permanent. I know that some of you out there feel that you're alone. I know that some of you feel that there's absolutely no way that you're going to be able to control the powerful urges. I know some of you have put this behavior on a pedestal, but I want you to know that you can overcome it and you can live your life. You can literally get to a point where you look back and you go like, yeah, when I was younger, I had this porn issue. I had this issue with porn in my 30s, but you know, interesting times, but now I'm done with it and I love my life. So you truly can get to that point, and I want you to know that. And if you don't watch any of my other videos, if you don't follow anything else, that's absolutely fine. Just keep these 5 rules in mind, keep them close to you, and you're gonna be fine. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I wish you all the best in your recovery from your out of control behavior with porn and masturbation. Have a great day.